All right, so week 3 on these LifeWave patches. I thought I'd give a short update. I'm not going to go over everything that I've experienced thus far. I'll just give an update of what I've noticed in that week 3. Okay, so first of all, my toothache that I've had for a year and a half, the tooth that I thought I was going to have pulled eventually, I stopped doing any mitigation on the pain, and I would say it's probably 99% healed. I don't have any pain. Like, I might feel a twinge here and there, so it's still healing, but oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that it got that. I have noticed that with the patches, it does not hinder the way that God designed your bodies. So, for example, my daughter had 102 temperature and she had a croupy cough. I put the patch on her lungs and she didn't cough the rest of the day. And then after 12 hours, we take it off. She wakes up, she'll have a croupy cough. We put the patch on, she doesn't have a croupy cough anymore. So we did that for 3 days. For 3 days straight, she had a fever ranging from 99 to 102 for 3 days. And I'm one of those mamas that don't like to give my children any mitigation in terms of fever reduction, because the body is designed to have fevers to burn whatever the person is fighting. So I prefer to let them run the fever instead of giving them Tylenol that will reduce it, and then they can't fight it off. So the patch did not interfere with fevers at all. She was able to have her fever and start killing off the virus that she had in her body. So that was interesting. Also, I reported about having the surge of energy. Well, if you are grieving, your brain is designed that when it has a traumatic event, or if it's grieving, it makes your body extremely tired and want to rest, because sleep allows the brain to heal. So your body wants to shut down to force you to sleep so your brain can heal. And this week we had to deal with a situation that produced a lot of grief, and I realized that surge of energy was gone and I needed to rest. And so that was interesting, that the patch didn't interfere with that it still allowed my brain to rest during the day when it needed to. So that was interesting. Someone had said, or people might be wondering, what about the placebo effect? What if you are wanting this to work so badly that it does work? First of all, it's doing things that I never thought. Second of all, it is doing things that weren't even on my radar. So 2 prime examples of things I noticed in week 3. So when I first put the patch on day 1, I had a slight ringing in my ear for about 2 or 3 seconds. And I thought, well, that's weird. And it stopped. And a couple seconds later, it started again. And then it stopped. And then like a day or 2 later, I had that same little buzzing in my ear for about 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And then it went away. And I thought, well, that's weird. But I know, like, taking ivermectin, I know that when you experience something weird like that, it's usually, whoa, my hair. It usually means that something is getting fixed in that area. So I didn't think about it until week 3, and I noticed this week that I didn't ask my kids to repeat themselves once since I've been wearing this patch. So for 3 weeks, I've never asked my children to repeat themselves. And I usually would ask my kids to repeat themselves at least once a day, if not a couple times a day. All the time. Because I noticed my hearing was going away, and I thought, well, this is just normal aging. I noticed the people that I hang out with that are normally quiet talkers, I could hear them. So that's interesting. Didn't even know that was really wrong with me. Just thought that was normal. I'm still keeping my eye on that to see if that trend continues. The other thing that wasn't on my radar that I noticed in week 3 is that my mood is completely different. So being a full-time employee and also managing 4 children a good portion of that time, it was very difficult for me to keep my emotions steady. So I would yell at my kids quite a bit because I was running a tight ship, right? And that's just kind of like typical life for us. And I would notice that I would get pretty frustrated fairly quickly. Since wearing the patch, I have not really flipped out on my kids, which is crazy. And there was an event earlier this week that would have normally sent me into a very anxious, frustrated state, because this situation has happened before, and I would just be very frustrated and angry that I would have to deal with it. And I was completely calm. I was not anxious. And I thought, why am I not yelling? Why am I not? Because the situation actually probably deserved me yelling, and I didn't. And I didn't have a need to. So that is very, very interesting. I talked to one of my friends, and she said, Ginger, that's hormone related. Drastic mood swings like that, and that's what they were, very large mood swings, are now very levelized. And she said that my hormones are balancing now. I only have one ovary, so that's a very interesting to me for women who have had hysterectomies or may not have, their hormones may not have been balanced for a while. By week 3, mine have been really balanced. A friend of mine had called and said, hey, I lost my sleeve of patches and I am leaving for the weekend and I need something. Do you have any I can purchase from you? I was like, yeah, come on over. And he came on over and I gave him patches, and he goes, you don't understand. I went 3 days without my patches and I was so stressed. I didn't realize how stressed I was before I had these patches, and now I'm so calm. I was like, I hear you, because I experienced the same thing. Just mine are mood swings, not so much like stress, just mood swings. So that's what I'm noticing come week 3. Still watching my children. My children are being patched. My daughter and I have ADD and dyslexia. She doesn't register on ADD so much anymore, where she still is showing signs of dyslexia, even though it is much better after doing the ivermectin. But we both noticed on the ivermectin that our brains started rewiring, and we had trouble recalling things or processing things. There were 2 weeks when I was on ivermectin that I could not read. I couldn't read. And after that period, all of a sudden, I could read faster and better and process better than I ever had before. And that's just part of the healing process. My daughter and I are noticing it somewhat on the patch. It definitely feels like our brains are rewiring so we can process better. It doesn't feel like as drastic as it did on ivermectin. I can still read, and I just have trouble with names right now. So that's what I'm noticing on week 3. So that is pretty cool, because they said by week 6 your brain is balanced. So we are heading towards that way where our brain can function better than it has before. Still watching my son. He no longer registers on the ADD dyslexia test, but but there's definitely some kind of processing there whether it's dysgraphia or something, there's a processing issue. So we're still watching him. And oh, my gut. So my gut, and someday I'll talk about my gut more thoroughly because that deserves a thorough discussion. My gut has always been bad, and I have tried different things. The last few years it was really bad. Milled wheat really helped, and I took some supplements and that kind of helped. Milled wheat really helped and allowed me to get off those supplements so I could just eat my nutrition. But I had to eat a lot of milled wheat, and therefore I was gaining a lot of weight and inflammation. So this is definitely doing something to my gut. My bowels are figuring things out. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Figuring things out. Just very similar to how your brain balances, like how it did on ivermectin, where it kind of got worse, then it got really, really good, and then it got a little worse, and then it got really, really, really good. That's the same thing I'm noticing with my gut. Now, your gut is tied to your sinuses. So I had reported before I hadn't had any drainage. Well, that drainage started up again because my gut is reworking. And so that's going to cause my sinuses to also rebalance. So I'm having some more drainage, but it's very interesting because I kind of suspected that might be the case. And when it happened, I was like, yep. When I was seeing my gut kind of rebalance, I knew that was going to rock my sinuses a little bit because they are directly tied. So it's interesting to see these changes. But that's where we are in week 3. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to address on week 3. But yeah, so far I am so surprised by these patches. So surprised. I'm having so many good things come from these patches that took me so long to achieve through ivermectin, and then I hit a wall with ivermectin, and now it feels like this is pushing me over that wall to really correct things all the way, and not mostly, but all of the way. So I'm really excited to see how this continues. Really excited. So, and I see some other changes, but I'm not going to announce anything yet, so I know for sure that it's getting corrected. Because healing takes time. I didn't get this way overnight. I didn't. And that's why I remind people, especially if they're not seeing results right away, is like, you didn't get like this overnight. So you have to give it time to be able to work. Give it at least 90 days, if not a month for every decade you've been alive. I'm a mess, and so there's a lot of things that is being corrected because there's a lot of things to correct. So if you're healthier, you might not see things as quickly as I did, or if you have something really bad wrong internally that you can't really monitor, it's going to go for that first and wake up the stem cells to heal that part of your body first before it gets to other things. If you do the patches, don't freak out if you see things like I'm seeing where things get a little bit worse. Push through it, because it's just, there's activity going on in that part of your body in order to fix it. Those stem cells are waking up and they're repairing that part of your body, so you're going to feel some weird things like the buzzing of the ears, and that was not even on my radar, so it couldn't have been a placebo because I didn't even know there was something wrong with my ears. And I didn't know there was something wrong with my mood swings. I just thought that was normal mom life, Definitely not normal mom life. So there's hope for people if they have dysregulated hormones, or if you have major mood swings, there's definitely hope for you. Anyway, so stay tuned. I'm still guinea pigging this. I'm still loving it. I am really amazed, and I really feel like this is going to help people. I really feel like this is going to give people back their lives. This is by far the easiest natural method I've tried, and the most results I've gotten in a short period of time with any homeopathic thing I have tried. So if you need more information, if you want to ask me specifically about certain cases, let me know. I can definitely help you. I help people on a daily basis, multiple people daily. And I love it. So passionate about this because I want people to get their lives back. All right, that's it. Let's go on to week 4.